I know after we won Worlds too, we went, like, there were, like, these parties and stuff, and our post-World celebration was, like, pretty much the same as it usually always is after a tournament. We'll always go for pizza and beer, and we just had, like, a lot more to celebrate that night, but we still went. We went to Vapiano. That was, like, where we went.
Oh, you went
after
back there?
Yeah.
You were probably eating there all week, too.
All week long.
Everyone was eating there.
All week long. Volleyball Canada said that they were going to cover our pizzas, so we were, like,
That's
really...
the least they could do.
They're covering expensive meals.
But don't get any extra cheese.
No, but, I mean, it was just a really beautiful, normal moment with, like, our team. And then the next day we were off to Stade, and we just kind of honestly had to forget about Worlds, which was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And, like, as a team, we struggled with that, honestly, because it's so hard to go from such a high and literally have to forget about that moment when it's something that you dream of for so long. Stade stole our thunder. It was like, and we came up and we were disappointed with the result. We finished fifth, which is
right, which is not a major.
But come on, you just won world champs.
It's a respectable result for sure, but obviously in our eyes it was a disappointment. And I think after the World Championships, it's a lose-lose. Like you have no other option but to win.
Totally.
And that was like the first week of 6 weeks on the road, and we had like 5 back-to-back tournaments. And
Plus World Champs is 10-day tournament.
Yeah,
so
it's a long one.
A grind.
It's a long one.
Pace of those is so slow.
It's slow, but like your mind can't check out.
Yeah.
So you're mentally like in it for 10 days.
Totally. It's so draining. It's so draining. But we ended up finishing those like 6 weeks on the road with some really great results. We came out with 3 golds. The
World
Champs Vienna, and then we went to the 3-star in Edmonton, and then 2 fifths. And so I think we were really proud of how we were able to kind of just try and stay composed through all that, because it's really hard, you know? Like, if you look at the Russians, too, in Stade, they didn't make it out of their pool. Like, it's so hard to kind of bounce back from that.
I didn't make it out of the pool. I was on that high because I made the semifinals.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, we had some rocking games against Norway and Russia.
Yes.
And then I had a swing to beat Canada, Ben and Grant, and I got blocked or something, and we ended up losing and not even making it out of pool. I was like, oh,
totally. You had like an unreal Worlds, and then having to kind of like bounce back from that, and it's just a wave of emotions.
It says a lot though that you guys were able to like calm the mind and like just stay on that grind. You think it has? I would think that it is really helpful to have Sarah, because she's got that mindset, that killer instinct, but like, we won, all right, get over it, let's get back to work. And from the outside, that's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, yes and no, I think she also had a hard time with it too, and I think it was really Scott who was kind of like, okay, you girls have to just forget about it. Like, he was kind of that source of like grounding and just trying to like calm us, because we were on a high, like, and I mean, I don't know if you saw Sarah's reaction after we won. Like, it meant so much, and like it really, really, I think affected her in such a beautiful way. Like, she had an amazing tournament, and so for her as well to kind of bounce back, even though she is definitely the more experienced, you know, she's felt so many highs in her indoor career and just like all along her beach volleyball career as well. I think even it was challenging for her too. And we were both kind of like looking to each other for like some sort of, how are we supposed to feel right now? Like, we had no idea. Yeah. And so it was definitely Scott that was trying to like guide us in that way. But it was a crazy week for sure.
Yeah. Well, you'd won tournaments before.
Yeah.
How is it different? Obviously, you know, to the outside, like, it's world champs, but as a player, how is it different from winning, say, a major or like, you know, the Commonwealth Games or, you know, any of your other number of like really big wins?
Yeah. I think that is so special in the same way that we were kind of talking about Manhattan Beach and how it's immortalized. Like, it's a title for life. Like, we will always be world champions, which is like, I just still get chills from hearing that. Like, it's pretty crazy. And I think what we saw from accomplishing that was so much bigger than just Sarah and I and like our own titles. We saw how it affected Canada and how they really took notice, and beach volleyball started to grow, and we saw how that performance affected the growing generation in Canada for beach volleyball, which is ultimately what we want to do. We want to inspire the next generation.
Yeah.
And the amount of messages we got from parents and from young girls who were like, I want to start playing beach volleyball because of this.
That's so
who
cool.
had never even been in the sport and now want to take it up. Like, that just makes it so much more valuable.
Totally.
And I forget what your question was. But
Just
how does it
how it's
differ?
different.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how it differs, because it was on a bigger scale. And I think more people were able to take notice and appreciate the value of it. Because I think our normal tour doesn't get the same attention, you know, and which is something that we've been working on for years. But this is something that people really gravitated towards. And obviously, on another note, it's really important because it's one of the few tournaments that mimics what the Olympics would be like.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of structure and on a small scale, like the media attention and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think that was really important for us too. But it was a pretty incredible moment.
Yeah.